So this week I will be responding to some of the comments you guys have been leaving on the book that we just got done reading, which of course is I Was Told There'd Be Cake by Sloane Crosley. Did you like that? Just came out of nowhere. Looking through, you guys have left some really long and elaborate comments on some of the videos for this book, which is totally great, but I had to edit some of them down for this video. And that's partially for time constraints and partially so that when they're on the screen they don't cover up too much of my gorgeous face. Which is a very, very subjective statement. Mrs. Grievous says, this book is really losing out by coming right after Jenny Lawson's. I've seen plenty of authors make composite characters in their essays before, and I do it myself when I tell stories that I don't want to get back to the person in question. So I didn't really give it a second thought. I think that saying that this book is losing compared to Jenny Lawson's book is a little bit harsh, and you guys know how much I absolutely adored Jenny Lawson's book. But I will say that this has been a pretty intense leap in both style and tone. And I also agree with you about not being bugged by composite characters, and I actually think that it's really refreshing for an author to go ahead and admit that that's what they've done. Belphegor Prince says, I am having such a hard time with this writing style, especially after Jenny Lawson. I do, however, appreciate the planning and structure of her writing, but I feel that it takes away from letting us see the true person behind the writing. Because of that and the fact she assumes so many things to be common knowledge, I am not finding her to be a relatable character. I think there is a lot to be said for the planning and the structure that seems to have gone into this book, and that really appeals to me as a planner in life. But I also do understand how that could feel like it sort of puts up a barrier to prevent you from really getting to know the person. Katie P said, this book made me laugh but also left my heart feeling heavy. However, I probably would have preferred cake over this read. Now, the part about your heart feeling heavy, I totally understand, and I think that you were sort of putting into words what I have not quite been able to express. The tone of this book and a few of the chapter outcomes do seem to have more of a solemn tone, or perhaps even a ceremonious or ceremonial quality to them, even when they are humor. Although I would probably not go so far as to say I'd rather have actual cake over this book. Unless, of course, it were yellow cake with chocolate frosting, because that is the best thing in life. And Sweet Sunshine Camper said, this book was okay. I think I got about halfway before I had to give it back to the library because it was on hold for like 80 other people. I think it says a lot that there was a waiting list for this book, but I would recommend going back and getting it when you can and reading the second half as well. Next week I will be giving my personal review of this book, and I think I have a couple things to mention that nobody else mentioned in their comments, so definitely stick around for that. And I also did want to say a big thanks to everyone who participated in reading this book with me. I have enjoyed all of the comments that you guys have left, and I really cannot thank you guys enough for all of the discussion. Also, if you want to go ahead and get a jump start on our next book, which we will be starting in a couple weeks, it is going to be Aisha Tyler's book, Self-Inflicted Wounds. So I will see you guys Wednesday.